right, guys, welcome back to another video. Lots to talk about today, but before we get into it, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, and if you have been watching for a while, you enjoyed the content, make sure to hit the subscribe and check out my link to my Spotify account in the description below if you want the audio version, which just comes out a couple hours after the YouTube version of the show does launch. So let's start off here. Let's talk about easily the biggest game that everybody is going to be talking about now until it releases in 2025, and that is Grand Theft Auto 6. We did get that official announcement for the game with that trailer that everybody was in awe about. Everyone was excited when they saw the trailer, and then we also did get the announcement that the game is coming in 2025. And obviously, Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to be the biggest game on the market, the best-selling game, and everybody is going to be wanting to jump in and play it. Obviously, you're going to have to get it on console first because it's launching on console before it does come out on any other platforms. Eventually, will obviously be coming to PC in the future. But as we know now, GTA 6, as they're saying, is the most important thing to ever release. This comes via an analyst, not just the most important game to be released in 2025 or the most important game to be released this generation, the most important game ever to be released. This comes via Matt Piscatella of GameIndustry.biz saying this. This is going to be a tough year, but if you look towards 2025, if interest rates come down and money becomes a little bit more flowing to devs and pubs, we should get a boost in the development cycle again. We're going to get a renewed batch of interest with GTA 6 in particular. There's probably never been a more important thing to ever release in the industry, so no pressure. And I guess he's looking at the current rate of the market, all of the studio closures and layoffs and development closures, all those things happening that have been very negative in the gaming industry up to this point here in 2024. And if the economy starts to get better and improve, 2025 could be a different year with those things. And GTA 6 is definitely going to be something out there that pushes the gaming industry in the upwards direction to be making more money and to continue to help it expand. I mean, people are going to be going out and buying consoles solely to play GTA 6. Even PC gamers are going to be probably going out there and buying consoles solely to play GTA 6, not wanting to wait for a PC release. To me, the most interesting thing that is going to be leading up to GTA 6, obviously, I mean, more gameplay and more information on the story and things that I will definitely be wanting to see that. But on the hardware perspective, how is this going to play out? Who's going to get the marketing rights for GTA? And the PS5 Pro, is that going to be set up for a release and a launch with the marketing for GTA 6? As that will probably be the console that gets the best performance for the game whenever the PS5 Pro does come out, unless Xbox comes out and shocks us and releases an Xbox Series Pro. But I really don't think they are going to do that. I feel like we're just going to be waiting until the next generation, and that's probably going to come out sooner than we think. And Xbox is just going to start fresh with a brand new generation of consoles. So that'll be an interesting thing here to track, is kind of where people pick up and play this game. Now, I think GTA 6 is going to run fine on the Xbox Series X as well as the PS5. We'll see how it does on the Xbox Series S and just how much of a downgrade it is on that console. Are they going to give a performance mode for the Xbox Series S version of the game? All those things obviously are yet to be foreseen, but Rockstar still has about a year here to get this thing ready, get this thing ready for launch and to continue to improve upon it. But it could be, as Matt Piscatella says here from GameIndustry.biz, the most important game release ever, and it will be pretty big. It will be something that definitely moves the needle in the market, as it always is. I mean, you even look at GTA 5 and how much money that's made, how much money it's still making. And then the other thing is, I wonder what they're going to do with the online portion of GTA 6. Are they just going to continue to add on to the current GTA Online, or is it going to be a brand new online game that they do release? I have a feeling they're not going to want to cut out the amount of people that currently play GTA Online, and it'll just be kind of a revamp of it with the new city and upgrading graphics, things like that. You can download, maybe pay an additional fee to get the extra content. All right, let's jump over here. Let's talk about Pentiment, because Pentiment, as we know, made headlines a couple of weeks ago because obviously it's one of those games that is getting the PlayStation 5 release. It's a first-party Xbox game. And with the PlayStation 5 release, there was an update that came out with Pentiment. And in that update, it was 120 FPS mode that was added to the game. Now, the issue was it didn't have 120 FPS on Xbox, and Obsidian came out and said that Josh Sawyer came out and said it's because of a bug, and that they were going to fix that bug and 120 FPS would be coming out on Xbox. And then it's created a whole other discussion of, does it really matter for a game like Pentiment? 120 FPS, you're probably not going to notice any difference between 60 FPS or 120 FPS with a narrative novel style of game where you're just kind of flipping pages. No one's going to notice that difference. But then there's also the debate here about the optics in the industry, that PlayStation has a better version of the Xbox game. Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore, because the 120 FPS here is now available on the Xbox Series X. So if you're one of the probably very few people that were waiting for a 120 FPS patch to finally be able to play and enjoy Pentiment, you can go out there and get it. It says, players looking to work through the Pentiment achievements can now enjoy the experience with overkill frame rates. A free 120 FPS Pentiment update on the Xbox Series X is now available for all players, although it looks like the Xbox Series S is sticking with the 60 frames per second. While it's no longer able to join the list of best Xbox exclusives, Pentiment is a fantastic game and well worth a playthrough if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet. So if you're into these interactive narrative novel style of books, definitely go check this one out. Pentiment really was never for me. I may eventually end up playing it. We'll see. I didn't really give it that great of a chance, and I don't know how many people are actually playing this on the PS5. I feel like Pentiment is going to be the one here that just does not sell very well on the other platforms that Xbox puts out to PS5 and to the Nintendo Switch, whereas you see something like Sea of Thieves, which is actually having the exact opposite effect, which is the top pre-ordered game on the PlayStation 5. And I feel like they're doing this on purpose. They're definitely choosing different styles of games that may have not sold as well, games that they would make some money off of just if they were to sell a couple of copies here and there. But they're definitely comparing the styles and genres of games and seeing which ones will do well on the other platforms. Probably will help them determine what their next steps going forward. As obviously Phil Spencer said, there could be more games going over in the future, but as of right now, it is only those 4 games. All right, let's talk about this, because I love game preservation. I love backwards compatibility. I love the fact that Xbox on their consoles allows you to play every single generation of Xbox, but you still are very limited in what games you can actually play with the backwards compatibility. And one way around that is to actually go out and buy an original Xbox, go out and buy a 360 so you're not held back. But then when you load those games up, it just doesn't look great on those new high definition flat screen TVs based off of when these consoles did come out and the TVs that were available. But there's a bunch of tools out there, a bunch of things that allow you to actually upscale these games. And this is one of them. And this is the original Xbox adapter by XB HD Maker. And what it does is it allows you to upscale OG Xbox games. It says the new Spartan flavored adapter, because they have released this in the past, but it was just like the regular case of the OG Xbox. This one has that transparent Halo green Spartan look, which is awesome. But it says the new Spartan flavored adapter features 480i, 480p, 720p, and 1080i playback, LAN connectivity, a 3.5 millimeter audio jack, and multiple HDMI slots for multi-screen play, as you can see in the images. And then they say it's important to note that the XB HD adapter only works with US NT SC system. So if you have an OG Xbox and you're wondering how can I get a better picture, this may be the thing for you. Just upscales those games. And if you've played any of the OG Xbox that have been upscales, at least on your Series X, it actually makes a world of a difference about how much better these games do look in the higher resolutions. Now, the one thing here that may turn some people off is this is a $150 device. So I don't know how big of a market that people will want to spend $150 on this thing. But I'm definitely, if you're a retro collector, maybe something to look into. Now, when speaking about games that released on Xbox and Xbox Game Pass, as well as PlayStation and PlayStation Plus, Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves was a very critically acclaimed old school 16-bit RPG, and it has done very, very well. And I think really what this is showing is the power of small indie games getting out there, getting their games in people's faces, I guess, or getting their games on people's radar because they're in these subscription services like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, and people see them, people hear about them, whereas they may have not heard it previously. And Sea of Stars here hit 5 million players, and a new co-op mode was revealed. Sabotage Studio announced that Sea of Stars crossed 5 million players, and at the same time, they are celebrating this new player count milestone by releasing a new 3-player couch co-op mode, which they are developing. So I think that's really cool. I think it's awesome that they are releasing a new mode. It's awesome that it reached 5 million players. It's a signal to the industry that you can release these smaller games, these smaller indie RPGs, and people will flock to play them, and they are worth actually taking the time and money to create. We're definitely going again into a shifting industry where I think we will see a lot more smaller games, and I actually am all for that, as I love these styles of games. So if you haven't checked it out yet, go check it out. Available on Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, and if not, it's on PC, Nintendo Switch, and just being able to buy through the consoles themselves. All right, let's talk over here about Saber Interactive, because we did hear that they were being sold. The Embracer Group was selling them to private investors. Now it looks like it is happening. There was a report last month saying that Embracer was selling the studio for $500 million, and now Saber Interactive has actually removed references to the Embracer Group from their website, suggesting reports of a sale are accurate. And Saber Interactive is one of the studios that has created some great games. They're actually the studio right now that is working on the Knights of the Old Republic remake, or they're saying reportedly it's still in development, as this is a game that has gone through a bunch of turmoil, so much so that the actual exclusivity of it on PlayStation 5 I think is up in the air right now. I'm one of those people that love the original, and I really don't want anybody to screw it up, so I'm actually kind of hoping that something happens here and there's maybe somebody that steps in and makes sure that this game does end up being good, or it just ends up never coming out, because I don't want the legacy of Star Wars Knights of the Republic to be ruined just based off of all of the turmoil surrounding it, as since the launch, this PlayStation came out and announced that the game was going to be coming out. And then in terms of the actual look here, they've taken out an Embracer Group company under their logo, so that's one signal. And they've also changed their bio, saying that Saber Interactive is a US-based developer and publisher of video games consisting of over 20 studios and more than 2,500 employees worldwide. And previously they had in their bio saying that they were a key operative business unit of the Embracer Group. Now that has all been away. So those signals, those signs that the Embracer Group has actually been sold is becoming more and more real. And I feel like this is going to be a good thing for Saber Interactive. I feel like it's a good thing for the industry, because we know what Embracer has been doing, which is essentially just been shutting down anything that they had bought up, and a lot of that had to do with that deal with the Saudi group that fell through, where obviously they thought they were going to have a bunch of cash flowing in. That didn't happen, so instead they had to kind of destroy all of the purchases they made, cut IPs, lay off people, and close down studios. Okay, now let's jump over here, quickly talking about a new PlayStation 5 update, which includes improved DualSense audio and screen sharing. So it says here, Sony is rolling out a new PS5 update that improves the speakers and microphones on the DualSense controllers, adds pointers and emoji reactions to the screen share feature, and includes the ability to adjust the brightness of your PS5 power indicator. So just a couple of updates there. You can see kind of what it looks like, as there are emojis from people that I guess are watching your screen share that they can actually just hit, and then it'll pop up, kind of what you see on, I guess, like streaming sites and stuff. But I mean, that's kind of cool. It's one of the things that PS5 I think does pretty cool, that I wish Xbox had a feature like this, was that screen sharing thing, where if you had a bunch of friends in a party chat, you could just share your screen to them while you're playing a game, and everybody can go in there and comment. Maybe that'll be something they do eventually add, but that is one thing that is pretty cool on the PlayStation 5. So just a small update there. Want to update you on that. And finally, to end off here, let's talk about Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, as we now have the roadmap for this game. This is one of my favorite games this year. I think everyone should definitely check it out if you like side-scrolling action, Metroidvania games. It's awesome, and we're getting a lot of free content plus some new story DLC in the future. So we got the post-launch roadmap for the game. March 2024 is Warrior's Path, which is free, comes with a speedrun mode, a perma-death road, and new Sargon outfits. Spring 2024 will have Boss Attack, which is also free, a boss rush mode, new Sargon outfits, And summer 2024 will have the Divine Trials, again, another free DLC, which is a new combat platform and puzzle challenges. And then also has new amulet and new Sargon outfits and more. And then what I think is really exciting, later in 2024, there will be new story DLC. I'm guessing that one's paid, doesn't have the free logo on it, but probably will be worth checking out. So I will end the video there, guys. If you did enjoy this video, hit that thumbs up. If you are new here, hit that subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.
We'll be right back.